Emily Blunt's one of those actresses that just have it. The it factor for sure. It can mean different things for different people, but from A Quiet Place to The Devil Wears Prada, the Brit has shown just how much range she has. Well, she's done it again, and it's no surprise. In this video, we'll be telling you about her new role in a Western drama called The English. Let's get right to it. First off, some details about the drama.
Because I'm a woman?
Not your fight.
Okay, we know that the title is a little misleading. It's very obviously an American show, and we've got a very famous British actor in one of the lead roles. We're seeing a new trend of putting a twist on your classic Western genre, and this show aims to do exactly that. The Yellowstone comparisons always come flooding in, but hold on to that for now. Let's talk about the premise of the show, shall we? So Blunt plays a British aristocrat who moves to America for revenge. Her son was murdered, and she wants payback. It's a 6-episode series set in different locations like Nebraska, Oklahoma, and Kansas. The actual Western showdown element comes in when she crosses paths with a member of the Pawnee Nation called Eli Whip. The two grow close, and all the blood-soaked adventures and high stakes come with that. She's trying to make her way to Wyoming, and he helps her. It's a pretty good idea, honestly, having two characters who start out as strangers join hands to exact revenge. It hasn't premiered officially yet, since it's set to come out on November 11th this year. This is super close, but the critic reviews have obviously come in by now. Side note, wouldn't it be awesome to get to watch a show before it airs and then get paid to write about it? Dream life, honestly. But they have mixed opinions, as expected. But if you're going in expecting a coherent story, you won't get that most of the time. Coming up, the cast.
You remind me of my wife.
And not the bleeding.
It's a star-studded one, no lie. The NY Post calls it a mix of the grit and gore of Deadwood and the romance of Outlander. With Blunt as the leading woman, we've got Chasky Spencer as Eli. You might remember him from the Twilight Saga, where he played Sam Yulee. It's a very good choice too, because the actor himself has Cherokee heritage and comes from the Fort Peck tribe. It's so refreshing to see TV shows actively recruit people of color for these roles. No more whitewashing, please. Westerns have already had too much of that. It's also what's so great about the revisionist genre, finally seeing representation on screen even though it's long overdue. A win is a win. Anyway, there are a lot of hard-hitting side characters too. You know when you see a small role in a show and recognize a very famous actor? It's like that. Kieran Hines from Game of Thrones is in this one too. Plus, Rafe Spall from Trying is in the mix. That ain't his only notable role though. You can see him in iconic movies like Life of Pi and The Big Short. Up next, some iffy reviews.
It's your business, not mine.
Oh, but then it became yours, so thank you.
Since it's not out yet, all we can do so far is look at what these guys are saying about the series. The NY Post frames it as a drama full of riveting performances, but overall feels a little scattered. First off, of course it's riveting. You've got Emily as your main actor. That's just a given. Give her any character. She's gonna shine, even if she has a screen time of like 10 minutes. Seeing her take the center stage never disappoints. It always stands out, even if other things in the show don't live up to the mark. Trying to reinvent a genre is no easy task. Let's make that clear. Adding elements of romance and complicated physiological processes has to be done with a lot of care with something like this. According to some, they feel like the show wants to have its cake and eat it too, which it can't really achieve. Cornelia Locke, Emily's character, and Eli have a very obvious blossoming romance going on. The tone keeps shifting, from romanticizing the Wild West to criticizing it, and it can feel a little inconsistent. That sweeping idealization and rosy red feeling are immediately pulled out from under you, time and time again. Keep in mind, the Wild West is called wild for a reason. There's tons of violence and absolute brutality shown here, and while they switch between these two vibes, they do justice to how violent the genre is. And now, some positive comments.
So not just killers and thieves then, has one such as you within it?
Been both.
Like we said, it's a mixed bag of thoughts and feelings. IndieWire had a lot of praise for it, because to them, the tone switch is done beautifully, since it's set in a time where marking your identity meant planting an actual flag. It brings to light just how brutal the origins of America are. It's a point the show achieves really well, and it makes you rethink just what your image of the West is. At one point, you're swimming in the main character's romance. At another, you realize the sheer amount of blood, sweat, and tears that went into it. You gotta make a show for the audience of the time at the end of the day. day. Those who want a classy period drama might not find what they're looking for, but it's really good for those who enjoyed Westworld. The mix of wistful monologues and bloodshed works really well if it's your thing. Plus, fans of the futuristic Western show can spend their time watching this one, now that their show has been canceled. Sad, we know, but you gotta cope with it any way you can. What's more is, Blunt and Spencer's characters make genuine, full-fledged personalities out of archetypes. Not once has it felt too shallow or surface level, which is a feat in and of itself when you're working with a well-known trope. Making it all about the person's dreams, hopes, and psyche is where the spice is. IndieWire says you can definitely get that in the English. Now, let's look at how the actress isn't interested in strong female lead roles. Firstly, it's not a jab at the English.
For you, if you get split.
Not for you?
Off the bat, we know how this sounds. Just now, we praised her for her incredible leading performances. A strong female role is never a bad thing, of course, but she's a little tired of doing that at the moment, and it's understandable. In a conversation with the Daily Telegraph, she said that she loved the script for the English because it didn't start off with the description of a strong, stoic female lead. To her, it's the worst phrase you can start with. Cornelia's role has much more to it than just being silent and powerful. There's no aspect of shutting up and taking whatever comes her way. She's vengeful, but she's also hopeful and bubbly. A woman shouldn't be expected to be silent and act tough to be taken seriously, and that's exactly the point the actress wants to make. She said she loved the character because there's more to her than this stereotype. It's refreshing, and when you've got a career as prolific as hers, you would also want some variety and complexity. Up next, how it bores her.
Well, then you and I were looking at the same road.
You can count on her to be blunt and upfront about her feelings. No pun intended. That being said, she didn't take a jab at any other shows or films in particular. She was just voicing her preferences as an actor. You do you, girl. She said that whenever a character is introduced as a strong female lead, she's already out. She's bored with it. The process of acting this isn't stimulating for her at all. All you have to do is act tough and say tough things. It's understandable why it can get frustrating. Where's all the human emotion and the layers, right? That's what makes a person zesty on screen for both the actress and the viewer. It's also important to see how Cornelia ticks all the boxes for her. Emily sees her as this person who's innocent without being naive. It's rare to see a woman be portrayed like that, since they always fit into neat boxes which are often kind of misogynistic. A woman can't only be either or smart. And last but not least, her love of challenge.
They didn't make the mess. Just cleaning it up.
She's a woman who loves to take a chance and get thrown into an adventure. While she really enjoyed herself in the English, she did also mention that the costumes were a bit of a challenge for her. Since it's a period piece, the fashion has to be true to the time period, so she had to wear corsets, which, as we all know, are so uncomfy. On top of that, she had to ride horseback in those corsets. It was difficult doing that for sure. She said that they were elasticated on the sides, but she still had to get on the horse with the help of 3 men. Still, it added to the adventure of it all. The leap into the unknown is what she hungers for, and we hope she always gets to fulfill her dreams. Well, that's all for the video, folks. What do you think of the reviews of The English starring Emily Blunt? Let us know in the comments below. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more videos like this one. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.